Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to SSMB School Tutorials. I am your instructor Arif Ahmed and this is our first lecture on knowledge management. In this lecture, our learning objective is to have clear understanding about the concept of data, information, knowledge, intelligence, experience and common sense. Now what's data? Data refers to numeric or alphanumeric strings that by themselves do not have any meaning. Or it's a collection of facts or figures that need to be processed for effective decision making. Or collection of alphabets, numbers and special characters. Now this will be clear by taking the following example. I have taken the 8-digit number. Now the question arises, what is this 8-digit number? Whether it is a roll number of a student or a phone number or a date of birth or a bank account number. So it's incomplete. So we can say this is the data because it keeps no any meaning. After this, we assume that this 8-digit number is actually the date of birth and date of birth of 15 March 1987. Now again it keeps no any meaning because we do not know whose date of birth is this. After this, we make the second assumption and we say it is Mr. Amir who is having the date of birth of 15 March 1987. Again, we see it keeps no any meaning. Why? Because there are number of Amirs who are having the date of birth of 15 March 1987. So after this, we make the third assumption and we assume that Mr. Amir's father's name is Mr. Nisar Ahmed Khan. Now in this case also we say it's incomplete or it keeps no any meaning. Why? Because there are number of Amirs with the same parentage and with same date of birth. So in this way all these four cases are the examples of the data. In the next slide we will discuss the concept of information. Okay, now what's information? Information is the processed form of the data. That is, it is the data which is contextualized, categorized and calculated so that it is meaningful to the person who is receiving it and helps him in decision making. Now this will be clear by taking the previous example as. In the previous example, we will make another assumption and that is the assumption of residential address. Now after this assumption, the whole statement will look like this. Mr. Amir, whose father's name is Mr. Nisar Ahmed Khan, having a residential address 22 Haval, Srinagar, J&K, has a date of birth of 15 March 1987. Now this time, this statement is informing us about a particular Amir. So it becomes information to us. So this was about the information. Okay, now what's knowledge? Knowledge is human understanding about a particular subject which a person has attained in the course of appropriate study and familiarity. Or knowledge is based on the learning, thinking and proper perception of the problem area. Or knowledge results from the information in the same way as information results from the data. That is, data gives us the information and information gives us the knowledge. Now this will be clear by taking the following example. If I say it's 1 degree Celsius temperature, then it is data because we do not know the location of this temperature. After this, if I say it's so cold in Kashmir, then it becomes information because it is informing about the weather of Kashmir. In the third case, if I say it is so cold in Kashmir, so wear warm clothes, then it's knowledge because first it is informing us about the weather of the Kashmir. Second, it makes us to understand what we have to do while visiting the Kashmir in cold weather. So in this way we have seen how the data gives us the information and how the information gives us the knowledge. In the next slide, we will discuss about intelligence. Okay, now what's intelligence? Intelligence is the ability to acquire and apply appropriate knowledge, or it is the knowledge that one is supposed to have acquired deliberately by putting the efforts. Or intelligence is the ability to store and retrieve relevant knowledge according to will. Or it represents the skill of acquiring knowledge using the method of instruction or the study. Now, there are two types of intelligence. One is the fluid intelligence, another one is the crystallizer intelligence. Now, what's fluid intelligence? Fluid intelligence is something that depends upon the one's native ability. In other words, there are some persons who are having the ability to think abstractly, reasonably, having the ability to identify the patterns, solving the problems, and detecting the relationships. So, this was about the fluid intelligence. Now, another type is the crystallizer intelligence. Now, crystallizer intelligence is the knowledge or the skill that one has obtained through education, learning, and experience. In other words, it is the knowledge that one has acquired by putting the efforts. So, this was about the crystallizer intelligence. Now, in the next slide, we will discuss experience and the common sense. Okay, now what's experience? Experience is related to understanding that one develops through his or her past actions. We can also say knowledge develop over time through successful experience, and experience can lead to expertise. So this was about experience. Now what is common sense? Common sense refers to the natural and mostly unreflective opinions of humans. Now what's unreflective? Unreflective means something that do not have the source. In other words, it refers to the information or knowledge one is expected to have acquired simply by living in the world without making any additional efforts. So this was about the experience and the common sense. Hope you understood the first lecture, and if you have any question, then post it in the Google Classroom. Thank you.